Sipping slow, yakking the act, taking them in there.
Oh, champ. Run up these likes, run up these likes, run up these likes. We're back again with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, the internet believes that Adin Ross might be heading to prison. Yeah, champ. All right, after this fight that happened over the weekend, right, between Canelo Álvarez and Bud Crawford, where Canelo Álvarez suffered a very, very embarrassing defeat. Drake's sneaky link Adin Ross is now under fire with the internet. Yeah, champ, they're saying that maybe there was some illegal gambling done just minutes before the fight happened. Alright, we're gonna run this clip. I want y'all to take a look at why the internet is saying that Adin might have to go to prison, champ. Hit that like, share the video, all champ. Let's go.
I gotta take this call. Very important call.
You're one of the biggest risk takers, and he's taking Canelo yet.
Jordan, we're switching the bat.
Huh?
We're definitely switching our bat.
Oh my God. What you mean?
No.
Don't stay with Canelo.
No, we're going Crawford.
Canelo,
If he's
bro.
saying that, everybody goes slam Crawford.
Jordan, we're going Crawford. I'm telling you right now, we're going Crawford.
Wait,
Cash
what?
out. I'll tell you guys off stream.
I might slap more if you're talking like that, nigga.
All I'm gonna say, chat, I got one of those calls, okay? And they were just like, listen, we think that if you were to do this, it's gonna get bad. If you do this, it's gonna get bad.
There we go. Okay. This is just minutes before the Bud Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez fight. Okay. Now, is this illegal? Well, on Twitter they were talking crazy. They were saying that this could definitely land him in prison, and this is some federal offense. But champs, you know I had to go on, ChatGPT, AI, and find out if this is indeed a crime. So here's what I did. I did some digging. Okay? Make sure you smash one like if you have not. So here's what it says in regards to Adin's gambling. There is no federal ban on sharing tips. There's no overarching federal law prohibiting the broadcast of betting strategies or public-based advice on live streams. The Supreme Court's 2018 decision in Murphy vs. NCAA struck down the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, PASPA, allowing states to legalize and regulate sports betting. As of 2025, 39 states plus DC and Puerto Rico have legalized it in some form, with 32 offering online mobile betting. Federal laws like the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act, UIGEA, of 2006 focus on prohibiting financial transactions for illegal gambling sites, not on sharing advice. Okay, so far, so good. Doesn't seem like Adin has violated anything. Alright, just saying. So far, so good. But let's keep this thing going, okay? It says the short answer to all this is that it's generally not illegal in the United States, provided the information isn't true. Non-public insider details about the event itself, a fighter's undisclosed injury, or fixed income. However, it becomes illegal if it crosses into sharing genuine non-public information that could undermine the event's integrity. Let me break this down step by step based on current U.S. laws and regulations as of September 2025. So basically, in case, Adin was given information that wasn't publicized about one of the fighters and the potential risk of them winning or losing, right? Basically, he would be in violation because he ain't supposed to know that information. So technically speaking, that's cheating, and cheating is definitely a federal offense, right? Especially if you're doing it through, illegal gambling site or etc. You dig what I'm saying? So we can't prove that Adin received some information that he wasn't supposed to get. Now, if that was broadcasted, he could definitely face some charges 1000%. But we're gonna keep this thing going, okay? Now it says distinguishing inside info from legitimate strategies. Public versus non-public information. The key legal distinction is whether the inside info is material non-public information, MNPI, things like confidential details about a fighter's health, team strategies, or event rigging that aren't available to the general public. Sharing or using MNPI for betting is increasingly regulated and can be illegal, similar to insider trading in stocks. For example, if the expert knows and reveals that a fighter has a hidden injury from their trainer, that's MNPI, and broadcasting it could lead to charges. So Adin Ross did not broadcast any confidential information about any of the fighters in his broadcast, so he's in the clear. Alright, now if he received that information himself, well, he might be good because, well, can't nobody prove that he got it from me. I mean, maybe he did. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes fighters be injured and try to hide their injuries and still go through with the fight for the money and etc. And they end up losing or winning. You know, sometimes you can have an injury and win too. Alright, an injury doesn't automatically disqualify you from winning the fight, you know. Yeah, you might have an injury, but then you might fight harder with the injury. You dig what I'm saying? It's all about where you are mentally when it comes to combat sports anyway, right? So, again, doesn't seem like Adin's heading to prison, champs, even if they want him to go there, which I'm not mad at. You know, he did show some corn to some children under the age of 10 and 13 and all that, right? Yeah. I think he should be charged for that. I don't know about this, though. But let's keep it going because we're not even done, all right? Look, smarter gambling strategy. This sounds more like general advice, such as analyzing public stats, a fighter's recent win streak, odds movements, or historical performance in similar matchups, recommending bet types over and under on rounds, or suggesting bankroll management. This is akin to sports commentary or picks from an analyst on ESPN podcasts or betting shows, which is fully legal and protected under the First Amendment as free speech. Gambling experts, handicappers, and tipsters routinely share such strategies on live streams, YouTube, or platforms like Twitch without legal repercussions as long as they're not operating an unlicensed betting operation. I know that's a lot to read and a lot to take in, pause. But, yeah, I get what they're saying, alright? Now, this wasn't done either, alright? This wasn't done either, okay? Everything's licensed, everything's good. We can't prove that Adin received any inside information that he wasn't supposed to get. But if it was broadcasted, that would then create a situation. If there was something broadcasted to Adin, or if Adin broadcasted what was told to him that had to do with injuries or said things that people in the general public should not know, then that would make it illegal, right? Yeah, that would make it illegal. He would face charges for that. Plus, money would be lost because then people would have easier, you know, ways to gamble. And yeah, whole thing's a mess. Now, crazy enough, when it comes to casinos in general, whether it's online or in person, they pretty much rob you and manipulate you into being robbed. And that's completely legal, which is crazy, right? Yeah, they manipulating you to get robbed. Ain't that crazy? All champ. And last but not least, guys, okay? Last thing. In combat sports like UFC or boxing, where events are high profile, experts often go live pre-fight to discuss public info, weigh-in results, trash talk, or line shopping across sportsbook. This is standard and not criminalized. Listen, man. Adin Ross ain't going to prison. I'm sorry, champs. I hate to break the news, champ. Adin ain't going to prison. Yeah. Do we want him there? Sure. I want him there as much as you do, champ. I think he's done some nasty things. I think he's a weirdo. I didn't forget when he had the 17-year-old girl up there on Monkey and did something weird, much like his sneaky link Drake. I didn't forget, right? Just like you probably didn't forget. So listen, I would love to see the man put behind bars as much as anyone. But the truth of the matter is he ain't going to prison behind this. But a lot of people do want him to go to prison behind this. But I'm not going to lie. As someone who is also a sports gambler myself, he didn't violate. Nah. He didn't violate. The only way he would have violated is if he broadcasted insider information, which nobody else should know. If he received insider information, he's not going to tell us. We can't prove it. So there's that, right? Which is probably maybe what could have happened, which is why he switched the bet. Bud Crawford also wasn't really the favorite in that fight because he's going up 2 weight classes for the first time ever, and Canelo would be at an advantage, but seemed like we getting the same Bud Crawford at a high weight, which is not truly expected, but also kind of expected. The guy's just amazing at what he does, man. He's one of the GOATs for sure, 1000%. But Adin ain't going to jail. Okay, I repeat, Adin ain't going to prison, jail, nothing. He's not going there. He didn't commit a federal offense, but everybody's on Twitter saying that Adin needs to be behind bars. Okay, I get it. I understand. I understand your frustration. I understand your want to see the man locked up. I do too. I want to see him locked too. But champ, he's not getting locked up, unfortunately. Or champ. But gang, y'all let me know how y'all feel about all this in the comments. Do you think Adin still needs to go to prison anyway? You let me know how you feel, gang. Alright, also make sure you smash like if you have not subscribed, if you're brand new. Also subscribe to the main second channel, which is called Big Gotham, which will be in the comment section. Fire channel, almost 1,000 subs in less than a month. All champ. Also the main Discord, Big Gotham, fire Discord. Discord is amazing. Nearly 1,000 members. See, the Big Gotham channel, nearly 1,000 subs, and guess what? The Big Gotham Discord, nearly 1,000 members. Crazy, right? Make sure you get into both of those things, which will be in the comment section, alright? And one last thing before we get all the way up out of here. Are you ready, gang? It's the mayor. The one and only real New York mayor, Eric Adams, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Hit the like, share the video. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute.